Can acupuncture help you ovulate? It's a really common question. I get it all the time, and the answer is absolutely. Acupuncture has been well studied and proven to help ovulation occur. It's especially effective with the diagnosis of PCOS, which is the number one cause of anovulation or the inability to ovulate. So let's dive in. Let's talk about how acupuncture can help you ovulate, and we'll talk about what treatment looks like. Hey, I'm Dr. Josh Hanson. I'm an acupuncture physician here in Tampa, Florida. I have a practice where I see a ton of women that don't have the ability to ovulate on their own. They're trying to get pregnant and they're looking for an alternative. And acupuncture is an amazing option when you're in this situation. It's well studied and proven to help stimulate ovulation. I'm going to walk you through a few of the different interesting studies. We'll talk about why and how acupuncture can help if you are in this situation. So when it comes to the inability to ovulate, there's really only a couple of different approaches that your regular doctor is going to give you. First approach is to use OCPs, oral contraceptive pills, so birth control, right? And what that does is just basically stops ovulation altogether and stops any symptoms that might be associated with other issues you might be dealing with. So not a great option if you are trying to get pregnant. The other option that is kind of like first line therapy is going to be like Clomid or Letrozole, and this basically forces and stimulates ovulation. So really effective for women dealing with PCOS to help get them to ovulate. The problem is it doesn't address the underlying cause of whatever is not allowing them to ovulate on their own, and so there's a strong limitation there. So a lot of people want a different approach, an alternative approach, and that's where acupuncture comes into play. So the greatest value of acupuncture when it comes to getting you to ovulate on your own naturally is its ability to just literally balance out all of your hormones. That includes your sex hormones, your estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, and then also the signaling hormones that help stimulate production of eggs, so like LH and FSH. There's been a number of studies that show that acupuncture can just help how your body and your brain talk to your ovaries and normalize the production of all of these different hormones. Talk about some of the different studies that show and that prove how effective acupuncture is at stimulating ovulation. All right, so there's a study that was done in 2013. It found that after an average of 12 weeks of acupuncture treatment, circulating levels of estrogen, DHEA, and testosterone metabolites were lower and ovulation frequency was higher. So what I find in my practice is it does take about 12 weeks to start to normalizing hormone production. So that's kind of like the magic time frame. So with something like acupuncture, you do have to come weekly for a period of time that can be like 12, 16, sometimes even longer. It depends on how well your body's responding, but 12 weeks is kind of an average. I'll link to the study below that for all of these different studies. There was another study in 2011 that showed that there was an improvement in pituitary hormones. So those are going to be like your LH, luteinizing hormone, and FSH, and their ratio. So when those hormones are improved, your body has the ability to ovulate on its own naturally, right? And it's common in PCOS for these hormones to just be completely out of whack. There was another study in 2011 that showed that 16 weeks of electroacupuncture, which is what I use when there are ovulation issues here in my clinic, improved menstrual frequency and decreased the levels of several sex hormones by about 30% at week 16, and that was enough to stimulate ovulation in over 80% of the participants of the study, so really effective. So those are three kind of the main studies that show that acupuncture can help to stimulate ovulation. So what should you expect during an acupuncture treatment? Well, first, understand that we're going to put about 12, 15 little tiny pins at really specific places, mainly in your arm and your legs and below your belly button, above your ovaries. Some practitioners are going to use what's called electroacupuncture, where they hook a very gentle electrical current up to some of the needles, and that helps to just enhance your treatment, helps speed things up so that you can get better faster. Expect to feel a little bit of pressure, a little bit of a, like maybe a pinching sensation where the needles are placed, but it's really comfortable. Most people end up taking a little nap or feel very relaxed after an acupuncture treatment. So it's not scary, it's not painful. You'll be on the table in most clinics for 20 to 30 minutes, and expect to come weekly or twice a week for a period of time to get your body to do what it's supposed to do and to help to balance out those hormones. And that's going to take, probably a minimum of 12 weeks when it comes to ovulation issues. So expect to come for 3 months at a weekly is a pretty good starting place. So the upside for acupuncture when it comes to stimulating ovulation is there's really no downside. There's really not many negative consequences or side effects when it comes to acupuncture treatment. You might get a little bruising in some areas, but other than that, the needles are in really safe places. It's really gentle, it's really relaxing, it helps reduce stress, and it's just honestly, it's a really comfortable treatment overall. So the downsides are pretty limited. So that's the upside. So if you're dealing with a diagnosis of PCOS, or you're not ovulating on your own naturally and you're trying to get pregnant, then really I suggest you strongly consider getting acupuncture treatment from someone like myself who has a lot of experience in dealing with issues like this. It can be the make or break treatment that can really help you achieve that goal of ovulating on your own naturally, and likely in the end getting pregnant on your own naturally without having to use IUI or IVF. So I hope that gives you some great information. If you're in the Tampa, Florida area, then you can reach out to me. You can go to my website. It's down below, drhanson.com. I do see patients here in my office. I specialize in fertility acupuncture, so I see this all the time, and it responds really well to acupuncture. So click that like and subscribe button, and stay tuned.